Justin Freakin is a formidable voice in the culture.
Hey Justin, are you trolling?
We'll see who counts the food.
Come on, man.
This is the Troll Patrol, live with Justin Freakin.
Welcome. I'm sorry. Welcome. Your gimp is here. Welcome to the Troll Patrol. Sorry. Curiouser was here, and we've just been taking bong rip after bong rip, and I am stupid right now. Good evening, welcome. I showed her my my Valentine's Day graphics. I told her she should stick around. I am stupid. To be fair, clinically got me there. Good evening. Good evening. We have the Triple C Chainsaw. Welcome. Mitochondria is the powerhouse of the chat. It is Valentine's Day. I love you guys. I love you guys dearly. Libertad. Freaking Muffins. I don't know who this Muffins is. I don't know who this Muffins you speak of is. Welcome. Gonna be, so like I made a promise that we would do, you know, like bullshit all night. But like there's a lot of things going on. So I feel like we need to do a little bit of hard news. But then the show is predominantly bullshit. Is that a good trade-off? And when I say bullshit, I think the stories are interesting. They're more fluff. Clinically wants the hard news. If Warlord comes in here, Warlord is probably on a hot date. Because what woman wouldn't want her a big, manly Warlord? So we may not be seeing him this evening. There's shits be going on. It's just another day. 22 people shot. It's just another day. 22 people shot at a Super Bowl parade. Sparkle says no news. Well, what will I do if I don't read the news? Well, here's the things I've got for you. First of all, we're gonna watch the Acorn Cop video. If you haven't seen it, you're gonna love it. I have not seen it yet. I've stayed oblivious to it. Matter of fact, a content creator I was watching started to play it. I turned it off because I don't want to be a pre-watch Andy. Ooh, I don't know if I reset my drops. Ooh, I did. Warlord, good evening. Here is your Valentine. This is my Valentine to all of you. You're so tight, and you look like a bad idea, but I'm already sinking for you. It's been almost a year since that happened, hasn't it? That's so 2023. My, how time flies. It's like, I think I've made myself sick on I want to finish drinking my caramel macchiato. But got it, like, it's like the extra large. Clinically, good evening. Did anybody else sneak in here? Sparkles, good evening. Sparkles just sent me the sweetest message. I just didn't have time to respond to it. Because Curiouser and I were taking bong rips. And then I had to do this. But I thought that was very sweet of you. I did not know that Sparkles was capable of sweetness. You're very salty. I wish I'd filmed you doing your Nirvana dance to the Batman song. That would go viral on TikTok. She did this little interpretive dance. When I say the Batman song, the Batman, the Patterson Batman. They keep playing the something in the way. You're funny. You're hilarious. Or was like, I'm sweet. I'm sorry, that sounded horrible of me, like mock you like that. I'm sweet. Oh, it's Valentine's Day. I love you, Sparkles. I love you, Warlord. I love you, Chainsaw. Love all you fuckers. Clinically, not achondria. Did I miss anybody? Libertad, you ain't spoke up. You're number 2 in my book. You are delicate. But I mean, like, they had to rebuild you, what? At least once. Like the whole upper torso had to be completely rebuilt, reconstructed. You faced death how many times? 3, 4, 5 times? It does sound crazy. Did you ever? You told the stories on the stream, didn't you? But like how she had a deer like fucking come through her windshield, almost decapitate her. I think that's what gives her the outlook on life that makes her so like funny. Your spirit is tied. You've still got work to do here. Like buy a house with Justin in Wyoming. Moving to Wyoming soon. Jim Clyburn from South Carolina, the long-serving representative from South Carolina, stepping down from his House leadership position. We're going to talk about Elmo tonight. I've been saving this story. I've been saving it for specifically the bullshit show. First of all, there was this... Elmo posted this thing on Twitter, and apparently a bunch of people trauma dumped on Elmo. And in a completely unrelated story, Larry David beat the fuck out of Elmo. And then in a completely unrelated story to that, Marjorie Taylor Greene is upset with Larry David. We're going to talk about Bridget Ziegler, the co-founder of Moms for Liberty, and her sex scandal getting coverage on ABC News. A mom was banned from dropping her kids off at school due to her OnlyFans ad on her car. Rachel Dolezal, who, God, that's been 10, maybe even more years ago now, that woman, she was like, she wasn't the head of the NAACP. She was like a chapter co-chair or something of the NAACP, and they found out she wasn't black. Well, she has been fired from her teaching job because of her OnlyFans. A stingray is puzzling the zookeepers because it is pregnant, yet there are no males in the tank with the stingray. It's miraculous. Speaking of miraculous, we're going to listen to a song labeled Christian Rap for Couples. Applebee's sold out of their date night pass, which entitled you to 200 weekly date nights. All that, a lot of freaking more. Tonight on the Troll Patrol, live. Good evening. Sparkle's got a stingray, pregnant. Man, somebody out here buying these Applebee's date night passes. To me, that sounds like a fun Valentine's edition of the Troll Patrol. I didn't have time today. I've been very busy. So I didn't have time. I was actually going to make a countdown that had sexy music on it for Valentine's. I don't think I have one. Do I have one? Is that... I could use the Halloween intro. That would have worked, right? This is a night I don't normally stream anymore, Warlord. This is a bonus Troll Patrol. You're trying to cancel me, telling me to stream more on a night when I'm streaming more for you. I give my all for you. If I could make money doing it, I might stream 24/7. But like, I don't think that's a thing that can happen. Apparently, like, I've heard that Kick will pay you like a base salary if you stream. It's like 6 hours a day every day of the week. I've tried to confirm that. I was close to that already. Wanted to add a church show anyway. I'm not high enough for this shit. What am I talking about? I'm like so fucking high right now. It's 8:13. Get to the news after I hit this bong, goddammit. These nuts. Where is these nuts? I want to see these nuts. I know you're around. I can smell these nuts. So close I can almost taste these nuts. That's what I would like to do, is like put together, if I had the money right now, I would buy like a house on a plot of land. Tones, good evening. I would rescue all the animals I could. I would stream them 24/7. It would probably do gangbusters. Could have multiple streams of animals. And then use that to fund my other endeavors. Because on like fucking people probably be giving the fucking puppies money all day long. I wouldn't even have to do anything. Just make sure the stream is still running and that there's puppies that are fed and well taken care of. Being mean to dipshits on the internet is a very fun hobby. I've been doing it for a very long time. That's kind of the, you know, the show. That's kind of what the Troll Patrol is about. I was trying to monetize being mean to idiots on the internet. Well, yeah, but when I say streamer house, I just mean me and the puppies. These nuts. Okay, Chainsaw guys, I have no earthly fucking idea what Voosh and Ethan Klein and all that drama. I've seen that there is drama. I know that drama exists. I have no idea what's going on, and I don't know that I want to know. You feel me? Like, I don't think I want to know. Nathan, good evening. Welcome in on this Valentine's evening. I don't want to know, Warlord. I said I don't want to know. I don't want to know. There ain't fucking... Okay, I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. Not touching it. Not touching it. I'm going to hit this bong. We're going to do a little bit of hard news, like 10, 15 minutes of hard news. And then we're going to do like fucking stories about OnlyFans teachers and sex scandals in Republican circles. Oh, and Ben Shapiro and Jordan Peterson are going to tell us why sexual boredom is running rampant. Light one up, tip one back. Let's get the hard news out of the way, shall we? First things first, and this maybe knock the mass shooting back. I'm very interested in exactly what is going on with this story. This might be one that we need to pay attention to. Apparently, this is related to the warnings that we heard from the FBI director. Extremely alarming threats spark FBI warning. We watched this clip of Ray, what was it, last week? The Federal Bureau of Investigation is warning secretaries of state nationwide of extremely alarming threats in anticipation of the elections taking place across the country. Election security has become a significant issue since the 2020 presidential election. Since the 2020 presidential election? Between Donald Trump and Joe Biden, the close election that took days to officially call in Biden's favor led to a litany of lawsuits and accusations by some conservatives, including Trump, that the results were compromised, eventually leading to a riot at the U.S. Capitol. Trump awaits a criminal trial after being indicted on 4 counts in Washington, D.C., for allegedly working to overturn the results of the 2020 election in the run-up to the Capitol riot. Charges include conspiracy to defraud the U.S. government and conspiracy to obstruct an official proceeding. Last August, Trump and 18 others were indicted by a Georgia grand jury. We're more on the threat. The threat environment, unfortunately, is very high. Timothy Langan, Executive Assistant Director for the Criminal Cyber Response and Services Branch of the FBI, said last week at the Winter Conference of the National Association of Secretaries of State in Washington. It is extremely alarming. DJ Dub, good evening. I don't know what to make of it. Are they fear mongering? Is that just going to be the case going forward? Our elections are always going to have the threat of having foreign adversaries interfere in them, as we have done for decades to other countries, might I add. It's just going forward, that's going to be the thing. They're going to try to sway, and I can't imagine there's any of them that would want to interfere, that would want anybody but Trump in power. Would China interfere on behalf of Joe Biden? I don't think so. I don't know. Who is worse in China's eyes for their interests? Joe Biden or Trump? Who've been training, Tones? What have they been training for? I'm intrigued. 1 killed, at least 10 injured. Well, that's what the right-wingers say, Warlord. Apparently happened at a Super Bowl parade. You're not safe even at a Super Bowl parade. It's just another day. At the Chiefs Super Bowl parade.
In Kansas City, Missouri. Law enforcement officials providing an update moments ago saying 1 person is dead and at least 10 others injured. The chaos erupting this afternoon at the tail end of the parade where tens of thousands of fans had gathered to celebrate the Chiefs' latest Super Bowl win. Officials saying that the shooting took place near Union Station, near the train station's parking garage. Dramatic video capturing the moments the gunfire erupted. Take a listen. Police swarming the scene just after the shots rang out.
I mean, what's more American? What's a more American way to celebrate, right, guys?
Witnesses describing the chaotic moments.
All of a sudden, people started crushing forward. Everybody started running. There was screaming. We didn't know what was happening, but this day and age, when people run, you run. And so I put my arms around her, and we tried to push through so people wouldn't run on top of us. And there was a woman crying, saying something about somebody had been shot.
Police saying 2 suspects were detained at the scene. ABC News correspondent Alex Perez live in Kansas City covering the latest. Alex, what do we know at this hour?
Well, Ike, what started as joy and celebration turned to sadness within seconds here. We've seen the images. There were thousands of people in this field behind me here. Those 3 arches right over my shoulder, that's Union Station. There was a stage. There is a stage still there right in front of the building. That's where the players were gathered, and the rally was wrapping up here, and it actually just ended. The players were being escorted from the stage, and that's when the chaos began. We made our way to that area over there. I want to point into the distance there, Ike. You can see that ambulance. We spoke to some of the eyewitnesses who were in that area. That's where we believe the west side of the Union Station building near the parking garage. That's where we believe this shooting altercation of some sort happened. What exactly led to that remains under investigation as we speak. But what we do know right now is that at least 1 person is dead, 10 to 15 are injured, and many traumatized who were out here and had to run after all of that happened.
I believe this is a little behind. I've heard 22 now. I've heard as many as 22.
Thousands of people celebrating.
Injured.
Suddenly they heard gunshots. I spoke to one woman who told me she actually jumped on top of her daughter because she didn't know what exactly was going on, and she was trying to protect her loved one. You can imagine just how frightening and scary this was for people who had been some out here for hours, entire families celebrating. And
21 injured.
Authorities here now trying to figure out what exactly led to this the shooting here on the scene. We heard from the police chief here earlier today, just a short time ago actually, and the police chief angry, calling the 2 people that they do have in custody at this point.
Quesadilla, happy Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day.
Event, this incident, this shooting right in front of police officers. Ike, the police chief, very upset about that situation. We do know that the city of Kansas City,
even on Valentine's, it's just another day.
About 800 officers out here to protect the crowd of about 1 million that was expected to turn out. About 800,000 people, they believe now, turned out to celebrate the Chiefs here. But at this point, the investigation continues underway, Ike, and just some moments of chaos and fear for thousands of people here who thought they were having a good time when suddenly shots were fired. Now 1 person is dead, 10 to 15 injured. Ike?
Alex, thank you. You heard Alex say that right there. Moments of fear causing people to scatter, jump over barriers, running for their lives. The scene of pandemonium. We're going to be joined now by Lisa Ermacher, who was at the victory celebration when the shooting started. Lisa, what did you see out there?
Yeah, well, I had run down the hill because we wanted to collect some confetti.
Is it wrong of me to say Lisa's kind of cute? Kind of into it.
For Christmas ornaments, it's our custom and our tradition. So
I don't see a ring either.
And got to the front of the station. I was on the east side. I'm sorry, I was on the east side, and the shooting was on the west side. And all of a sudden, the police were just yelling, "Run, run, go, run!" And so we started to run. They had their guns drawn, and people, there were children and people with strollers, and everyone was sort of not understanding what was going on. We knew that they were trying to get the station cleared early so that downtown could accommodate people.
Is she British?
But then there was this incredible panic, and I just ran.
You know, Lisa, I got to say, being a Kansas City fan as yourself, obviously, I'm sure you're getting used to going to events.
I mean, he ain't bad looking either.
Is this something you ever thought could happen, coming to a victory parade?
I'd make that a threesome.
No, I mean, Kansas City is such an amazing city, and we rally behind our sports heroes. And they're all such great guys, and everyone just.
That is not a Midwestern accent. I don't know what that accent is. It sounds like she's British and then she's been here for a while and like dwarfed the British accent with some other shit. I know that is not a Midwestern accent. That shit came from somewhere else.
Part of our community, and it feels to be such a celebration, and Chiefs fans just get together, and it's such a thing to rally around in the community, and so everyone was just so excited that we'd won our third Super Bowl in this era, and then just to have this happen is just, you just don't believe it's going to happen in your community.
I don't have to stop at 3.
Now, you said it yourself there. The moment turned chaotic rather quickly.
So much better when everyone is in.
Looking at the scene around you, what were other people like during those chaotic moments?
There were people who were not sort of responding at all, who were just like going about their business. And then there were other people who were clearly very panicked. And so it was just, but the police were amazing.
Lisa Urchmacher. Somebody look her up and tell me where she's from, what she does. Lisa Urchmacher. Urmacher. Lisa Urmacher. There we go. She's Australian. See, I wasn't far off calling her British. Fair enough. It is a serious story. Everybody's all. To be fair, it's Valentine's Day, and the theme of the stream is very horny.
It was just, but the police were amazing. They obviously had their weapons drawn, so and they were just
Kelly, good evening.
Yelling at people to clear the scene. There was a lot of officers, a lot of law enforcement. There was a police woman who was quite amazing, and she just kept telling people just to go.
You know, law enforcement said that they had over 800 officers dispersed throughout this entire event. I'm sure when you were there, you saw several of them. When the chaos happened, when those shots began to ring out, what were the officers' temperament? What was their posture? What were their posture like? Were they frantic? Were they trying to search for victims? Were they looking for shooters? What did you see from the officers?
Yeah, I was on the other side of Union Station, so I didn't even know there had been a shooting, to be honest, until a little bit after the event. But the officers were just very concerned with the crowd. The ones I saw on the west side were very much clear the area, get out, get down, just very concerned, I think, for the public, and facing and toward the public and trying to get everyone out of the area and get everyone to safety.
And I just have to ask you, just coming out of this right now, talking to me, how do you feel? What's your temperament right now?
And I'm just really devastated because I hear about these things and I see these things in other places. And to think that this happened right here in our community, meters from or yards from where we were, it just feels it feels frustratingly just that there's not a safe place now, you know?
In an area with over 400 million guns proliferating here in America, it's a sentiment shared by several people. Lisa Urmacher, thank you very much for sharing this moment with us. Stay safe.
Good job, George. Nobody wants to hear from you. We've got some raw video of the aftermath of the shooting. Once again, this happened earlier this afternoon at the ass end of a Kansas City Chiefs victory parade following their Super Bowl victory this past weekend. Everyone be horny again.
You live in sexual anarchy?
Well, she was definitely a MILF, maybe even a GILF. There's no denying that. That was a classy lady. I can't believe that we still have people that are going on TV like, I can't believe it happened here. Like, really? You can't? It's 2024. We're now in like, what? 20 years, maybe 15 of this just happening regularly. Jay Ashcroft. Who's Jay Ashcroft? I mean, it's a wonder in that big of a crowd that there's only one person dead, especially given the fact that he shot 22. And I don't even know if it's a he. Do we have those details yet? This is still an active scene. 3 people are currently in custody. Officials say they do not believe the motive was terrorism. So this is just some people had some beef and it broke out in the crowd. Which I guess is Secretary of the Missouri Secretary of State. Okay, okay. I feel you. Is Jay Ashcroft related to John Ashcroft, the former Attorney General? This was a Super Bowl parade. A Chiefs. That's it. Let the eagle soar. Curiouser shushed me in my own home. Oh, god damn. No wonder Jay Ashcroft sucks ass then. But that was a victory parade for the... I was very excited to tell her. I think it was wrestling. I think I was telling her what was going on with The Rock and everything. So that was a victory parade for the Kansas City Chiefs, who won the Super Bowl on Sunday. This was a little nugget coming out of the Super Bowl. I hate to go back and talk about her yet again, but as a content creator, I am obligated to mention Taylor Swift in every single video I do. Taylor Swift apparently got Kanye West kicked out of the Super Bowl. This is according to an ex-NFL player, which, good on Taylor. Music icons Taylor Swift and Ye, formerly known as Kanye West, may have added another chapter to their long-standing feud on Sunday. Swift allegedly had Ye removed from Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas before Super Bowl 58. Ye had allegedly tried to leverage Swift's cameo appearances during the television broadcast of the game by purchasing seats directly in front of her. Former NFL wide receiver Brandon Marshall explained the drama on a podcast. Do we have it? The whole fucking podcast. I don't want to listen to the whole goddamn thing. Yeah. When Swift found out about this, she made a call or two, causing Ye to be removed from the stadium. Taylor Swift gets pissed off. She makes a call or two. Everybody's involved. He gets kicked out of the stadium. He was trying to leverage her celebrity status. A representative for Ye denied these claims, however, telling TMZ Tuesday Marshall's allegations are a completely fabricated rumor. It is not true. Footage from social media also appears to show Ye in attendance at Sunday's big game with musicians Anderson .Paak and Ty $. Apparently he didn't get thrown out. Why? Why has he always got his face covered? What the fuck is up with that shit? And then the Jesus, like right on the front of his face, you weird motherfucker. You weird Nazi motherfucker.
I have a mask on, bro. Yes, sir. Remember I was in the were you and Drake? Yeah. Hey, good to see you, man. Love it, bro.
So I don't know if he got thrown out or not. Two artists have been at odds with one another since 2009, when Ye interrupted Swift's acceptance speech for Best Female Video at the VMAs to argue Beyonce should have won the award instead. Now, it's been a discussion. Apparently, Jay-Z thought Beyonce should have won Album of the Year, which apparently she didn't have an album. She last album was like 2 years ago, but she should still win Album of the Year. Dustin, good evening. But I did see a thing that did, Taylor Swift has had an outlandish number of albums of the year. She has more than Stevie Wonder, more than Michael Jackson, more than Prince, who has 0, more than Whitney Houston, more than Mariah Carey, who has 0, Aretha Franklin has 0, Janet Jackson has 0, Etta James has 0. James Brown has 0. She has more than B.B. King. She has more than Nat King Cole. She has more than Natalie Cole. She has more than anyone ever. And there seems to be something a little off with that. Not only that she has more than black artists, which all of those artists objectively are better than her, but she has more than any other artist, and that doesn't seem right. More than the Beatles? Warlord says I'm wrong. And I hate to, it feels wrong coming off of that story for me to then bash a powerful black man. But Jim Clyburn has been a thorn in the side of progressives for fucking 30 years now. Clyburn now stepping down, and I'm fucking his name, Clyburn, Jim Clyburn. Jim Clyburn steps down from House Democratic leadership. Representative James Clyburn announced on Wednesday he is relinquishing his role as Assistant House Democratic Leader after just over a year on the job. Clyburn was the last of the Triaca? What the fuck is that word? Triaca?
Troika.
A group of 3 people working together, especially in an administrative or managerial capacity. Or a Russian vehicle pulled by a team of 3 horses.
Troika. Word
of the day is troika. I'm an American warlord. I read it like a 4th grade level. You fucking piece of shit. I don't read it at a 4th grade level. I've earned a bachelor's degree, but I say I have a master's degree. Clyburn said in his statement he has informed House Majority Leader Hakeem Jeffries and is confident Jeffries and the new generation of Democratic leaders will continue the important work of putting people over politics. The 83-year-old former majority whip said, like Pelosi and Hoyer, he plans to seek re-election to his Charleston-based House seat. God damn it, why are these old 83 years old? Why is he seeking re-election? Oh my God, that's infuriating. Why is Joe Biden seeking re-election? It is infuriating. Will you old fucks go the fuck away? Warlord, I don't think they're boomers. I think Biden and Clyburn and Trump, they're the generation before boomers. They're the last of like the greatest generation. I don't think they're boomers. They're older than that. Fucking horrible. All right, are you ready for it? We're gonna get into the we got horny stories, but we got a couple of stories where we have to get out of the way before we get to the horny stories. A lot of horny stories. The rest of the night it's all horny stories. Shut up, Warlord. They shouldn't be in charge. Bizarre footage. Did this happen in Florida? Bizarre footage shows cop open fire. It did happen in Florida. Of course it happened in Florida. He mistook an acorn for a gunshot. It happened in Okaloosa County in the Florida Panhandle.
Shots fired!
So just to be clear, an acorn fell on his vehicle, and then he did like an evasive maneuver and rolled on the ground and then shot his own vehicle. I do believe Warlord is right. There is a suspect in the vehicle.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired!
He needs to be charged with endangering. God damn, he emptied an entire fucking clip.
Through the car.
And he thinks he's shot. He thinks he's shot.
I'm good. I don't know.
Does not have the temperament to be a cop.
I might have hit my vest.
In a residential neighborhood. Look how many people he put in danger. This dumb motherfucker.
I don't know. It felt like it.
Jesse, move over to me. I got you. Move over to me. Jesse, come back.
And they've all got their guns drawn. They got long rifles out.
Dude, am I hit?
Dude, am I hit? Jesus Christ, you stupid motherfucker. I don't hear it. That's the third time we watched it. I don't hear the acorn drop.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired!
But we're also audio from his camera. I'm hit. I'm hit.
What? I'm there! I'm in the car! I was shot through the car! Oh!
Ow.
I'm good, I'm good. I don't know.
Watching this cops kind of make me hungry for donuts.
I might have hit my vest.
Aww. Little heart-shaped donut.
I'm not.
You don't know what he was trying to hit. Literally firing indiscriminately.
I don't know. It felt like it.
Jesse, move over to me. I got you. Move over to me. Jesse, come back. Mark vehicle right there.
Dude, am I hit?
Got to retire with his pension. My God. What a disgrace. Yeah, what that donut do indeed. That donut is awesome. All right, let's see what you're hitting us with, Tones.
In regards to these nuts.
Oh man, I can't restart it. It's gotta do the. Oh, hold on, let me reload it. That's what we'll do.
In regards to these nuts, Brianna D. Kingsley's nuts, I wanted them back. They are priceless. However, I figured it was appropriate.
Oh man, it is.
To have the hearing in small claims court. In regards to these.
Is chocolate stuffed.
Brianna D. Kingsley's nuts, I wanted them back. They are priceless. However, I figured it was appropriate to have the hearing in small claims court. These nuts. Brianna D. Kingsley's nuts, I wanted them back. They are priceless. However, I figured it was appropriate to have the hearing in
small claims court.
In regards to
If you get called out like that, you might need to trauma dump. Apparently, Elmo went viral for people trauma dumping on him, and unfortunately, we're gonna have to hear Laura Ingraham talk about it.
It's time for Seen and Unseen, where we reveal the stories behind the headlines. For that, we turn to Fox News contributor Raymond Arroyo. All right, Raymond, yesterday Elmo, or whoever runs his X account, posted an innocuous message Elmo is just checking in. How is everybody doing?
Yeah, but Laura, then it got very dark from there. More than 100 million people viewed this thing, and boy, did they unload. Elmo, I'm going to be real, I'm at my effing limit, one person wrote. Elmo, my man, have you been to the grocery store lately? Stop gaslighting us. You know it's real here. Laura, it's unbelievable to me, and I kind of found it sad when you read these missives that this is where America is going. You see adults kind of pouring out their hearts to a puppet created for preschoolers, and it speaks to the arrested development that really you see throughout the culture.
Or maybe people just need hugs. And they think of Elmo as, don't you need a hug, Raymond?
Well, an outlet.
Right?
An outlet.
Yeah. Now, well, but it was just out of the blue that he decides to check in? I mean, does he do this regularly? I must confess.
He's Elmo. And he's like a representative, like a 4-year-old.
Yes, I don't follow Elmo on X.
This was just a little throwaway, but then even Biden had to get in on the act, Laura, writing, I know how hard it is some days to sweep the clouds away and get to sunnier days. Now, Laura, this is a man who just announced a year later that he's finally going to visit those poor people in Palestine, Ohio, after that horrible train derailment, but he has time to talk back and forth and respond to Elmo. I mean, come on.
Well, that's probably the level at which Biden is most comfortable conversing, Raymond. So I think there maybe two syllables at most for every word. All right, Ray.
Laura Ingraham deserves a titty slap.
A titty slap! Give me those titties,
Come on now.
Then, apparently, Elmo decided to encroach on Larry David's appearance on the Today Show. I think this happened last week. So, you know what happens when you encroach on Larry David's time.
Go over to Alfred, check the weather. And
Not yet.
Wait.
Not yet.
Oh my gosh, you love Elmo, don't you?
Oh my
you okay?
God.
Mr. Larry, Elmo liked you before.
Ask permission before you touch people, Larry.
Let's get back on the couch and let's talk about how you're feeling.
They would have canceled the show, Elmo, if they won it last season.
All right.
Larry,
then.
you've gone too far this time.
Yes, Larry.
Somebody had to do it. Is anybody really surprised?
He's gonna sue y'all for the teaser. I'm gonna sue him for something.
That's right, Louie.
Okay.
All right.
All right, let's show you what's happening weather-wise. Didn't see that coming.
What?
No, Larry, do you have something you want to say to Elmo?
And look at the camera, and please.
And from your heart.
Give him a camera shot.
From where?
From your heart.
Exactly. No, okay.
Right. Go ahead. We're ready.
What organ are you talking about?
Yeah, just,
From your heart.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Say you're sorry.
Elmo,
Larry?
I just want to apologize.
Thank you, Larry.
That's very big of you.
Elmo accepts your apology, Larry.
Thank God.
And Louie, will you drop the lawsuit?
Elmo accepts your apology.
Oh, he said he accepts it. Oh, okay, cool.
Okay,
Elmo.
all right,
thank you.
You are such a sweetheart.
Thank you, Elmo.
Yes.
We're sorry.
Elmo, Larry, you are not a sweetheart. Have you ever heard that?
I'm really sorry.
Okay.
I'm really sorry.
I know you are.
We can tell that you are.
All right.
Hey,
I believe Larry not being a sweetheart is literally the plot of the show that he is on your show promoting. I gotta watch that one more time. Here's my only problem with this. It doesn't seem like Elmo really did anything to provoke Larry.
All right, let's go over to Alfred, check the weather. And
not yet.
Wait. Oh my gosh, you love Elmo, don't you?
Oh my
you okay?
God.
Mr. Larry, Elmo liked you before.
Conspiracy theory here. And this comes from an informed place because I am a Curb Your Enthusiasm fan and I've watched the current episodes and I see where they're going in the season. Al Roker, they try to throw to the weather and Al Roker says, wait, not yet. I think this was planned. Much like the Will Smith Chris Rock slap. I think Larry David planned to slap Elmo.
For a check of the weather and
Not yet.
Wait.
They're saying, wait. And Al's like, not yet. I think they were briefed that I think this has been filmed for Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Wait.
Oh my gosh, you love Elmo, don't you?
Elmo, you okay?
Mr. Larry, Elmo liked you before.
Ask permission before you touch people, Larry.
Let's get back on the couch and let's talk about how you're feeling.
They would have canceled the show, Elmo, if it weren't last season.
So, what they seem to be doing this season, because Larry has taken so much flack over the last 25, 30 years about the Seinfeld finale being that the gang gets arrested and they have a trial where there's a bunch of character witnesses and it's everybody from the history of the show talking about how horrible of a person all of them are. Larry went to Georgia because this dude paid him. It doesn't even fucking make any sense in the setup, right? Because Larry's a billionaire. But this fucking tech dude paid Larry to come to his birthday party in Georgia. And Georgia, where Larry visits his Auntie Ray, who used to live with him, who now lives in Atlanta. And he has to return her glasses to her as she's standing in line to vote. And he gets arrested for giving her a bottle of water in Georgia. It's a very drawn out setup. I thought it was a great ending, but it seems that Larry once again is going to make a meta joke. And that this season is going to end with Larry David on trial and everybody talking about what a horrible person he is. And if I had to guess, that was filmed just then because Elmo is going to testify in Larry's trial. Take it to the bank. So, and there have been several people that have been all up in arms about this. Like Will Wheaton wrote a whole op-ed about how it wasn't okay to attack Elmo. But I think that was supposed to happen. And you see the way Al Roker reacts. You see, I don't know if it's Hoda or the other one that's yelling, wait.
All right, let's go over to Al for a check of the weather and
Not yet.
Wait.
Yeah, it's Hoda yelling, wait.
Wait.
Oh my gosh, you love Elmo, don't you?
Elmo, you okay?
Mr. Larry, Elmo liked you before.
Ask permission before you touch people, Larry.
Let's get back on the couch and let's talk about how you're feeling.
They would have canceled the show, Elmo, if it weren't last season.
All right.
Larry,
then.
you've gone too far this time.
Yes, Larry.
Oh, this time he's gone too far.
Is anybody really surprised?
He's gonna sue y'all for the teaser. I'm gonna sue him for assault.
That's right, Louie.
Richard, good evening.
Okay.
All right.
All right, let's show you what's happening weather-wise. Didn't see that coming.
What?
Do you have something you want to say to Elmo?
They made him apologize.
And from your heart.
Give him a camera shot.
From where?
From your heart.
Exactly. Oh,
Okay.
right.
Go ahead. We're ready.
What organ are you talking about?
Yeah, just
your heart.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Say you're sorry.
Elmo.
Larry?
I just want to apologize.
Thank you, Larry.
That's very big of you.
Elmo accepts your apology, Larry.
Okay.
And Louie, will you drop the lawsuit?
Elmo accepts your apology.
Oh, he accepts it. Oh, okay, cool.
Okay. Elmo.
Thank you.
He's mocking Elmo. Still.
Elmo, Larry, you are not. Sweetheart. You ever heard that?
I'm really sorry.
Okay.
I'm really sorry.
I know you are.
We can tell that you are.
All right.
Hey, thanks for watching.
So, Elmo and the crew over at the Today Show aren't the only people upset with Larry David. One Miss Marjorie Taylor Greene, the representative from Georgia, very upset with Larry David, apparently. MTG attacks Curb Your Enthusiasm for depicting Trump supporters as racist and rednecks. Georgia populist accuses Comedy Star and other nasty commies from California of coming to her state to film in order to exploit tax breaks. And that's a good possibility. I didn't figure they were actually filming in Georgia, but apparently they did. Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene has picked a fight with legendary comedian Larry David, complaining that the latest episode of his long-running... She doesn't think... She's really not a redneck. She's complaining that the latest episode of the long-running HBO show Curb Your Enthusiasm lied by portraying conservatives as racist and rednecks. In a lengthy post on X, the hard-right Georgia populist and conspiracy theorist said that the comedy show stands as a glaring reminder of why most Georgians resent Republicans in our state for investing the nasty commies from California, the Hollywood elites, into our state by dishing out Hollywood tax credits. She continued, this week's episode lied and painted Georgia conservatives and Trump supporters as racist and rednecks and made fun of our good new law that stops the Stacey Abrams vote pandering machine and prevents voter fraud. We in Georgia are fed up with disgusting Hollywood and their disgusting values and elite judgment in our state that is trying to turn Georgia blue. Several further paragraphs follow in which Miss Greene veers off into raving about electric vehicles and George Soros. Curb has just commenced its 12th and final season. The episode that so triggered Miss Greene saw David arrested under the Peach State's Election Integrity Act 2021 for the crime of offering a voter a sip of water while queuing at a polling booth on a hot day, a situation that leads his case to become a cause célèbre and prompts Miss Abrams and Democratic ballot access activist and rock superstar Bruce Springsteen to make cameo. I kind of find the political pandering kind of cringe, to be honest with you. Love Curb Your Enthusiasm. Having Colonel Vindman appear and catch Larry making an innocent phone call was kind of shoehorned and ham-fisted. And the whole getting arrested under Georgia's election integrity law. Larry's kind of jumping the shark. Senate. She's going to lose Senate. She's going to lose the Senate race. Oh, wait a minute. There's 2 Democratic senators in Georgia. Never mind. She ain't got no spot, really. Unless she just wants to lose governor's race again. Another scene, David is forced to go door to door in Atlanta seeking a replacement for a racist lawn statue that he has accidentally damaged, leading to an angry confrontation with a Trump supporter in a red MAGA cap. This is not the first time Curb has addressed the Trump era. In February 2020, the 45th president himself tweeted a clip from a scene in the previous season of the show in which David is threatened by a biker after a near miss on the highway and only narrowly avoids being beaten up by putting on a MAGA cap, which immediately calms the aggressor down. Tough guys for Trump, the then president posted, apparently misunderstanding the point of the exchange. David had actually realized that the hat served as a... Whoa, that was weird. Had served as a people repellent. All right, are you ready for the horny part of the show? Are you ready for the horny part of the show? It's all sex.
You live in sexual anarchy?
Edging from here on out. I promise you. ABC putting up a piece a few days ago on the ongoing scandal of Bridget Ziegler one of the co-founders of Moms for Liberty, who apparently is married to a rapist who raped a woman they were having a turrid threesome affair with.
Xander Moritz is taking a break from Harvard to fight for his hometown school district.
Let's get prepped for this school board meeting, y'all.
The goal? To bring down a controversial conservative activist, Bridget Ziegler.
Bridget Ziegler is no longer an effective politician. This is make or break.
And the people of Sarasota, Florida are lining up at this packed school board meeting. Tight security, high drama.
I will call you forward at the appropriate time.
You are a threat and a disgrace to Sarasota.
So who is Bridget Ziegler? Once a Republican rising star, sounding off on Fox News.
I don't want my children or their peers to learn to hate America through the anti-American curriculum that we continue to see.
She's half of a dazzling Florida GOP power couple. He was chair of the state party. Now they're embroiled in a sex scandal. Christian Ziegler accused of sexual assault by a woman who the couple admits had previously engaged with them in threesomes.
We recognize she's a hypocrite. What do our students see? A liar.
After smiling through hours of withering public comments with minimal support,
I hope she does not give in. We need her.
Bridget refuses to address the scandal.
When you heard about the sex scandal involving Bridget Ziegler, what went through your mind?
For me, it crystallized the fact that Bridget Ziegler is a liar. Bridget Ziegler has made her career focused on eliminating LGBTQ discussion and LGBTQ plus existences from public schools, all the while engaging in an LGBTQ plus relationship.
That relationship with an unnamed woman who's been friends with the Zieglers for almost 2 decades. She told Sarasota police that she'd been sexually assaulted by Christian Ziegler. A friend of the accuser called the police for a wellness check.
Tell me exactly what happened. So, this friend of mine, she told me she was raped yesterday, and that she's scared to leave her house. I'm worried about her right now.
Okay, yeah, I have units in Ross.
Body camera video shows police arriving at the woman's apartment to question her. A court-obtained affidavit says the woman told investigators she was not in a place to consent because it was her day off and she'd been drinking tequila all day, and that she canceled their plans for a threesome when Bridget dropped out. Detectives also say Christian contacted her via Instagram after the alleged assault. In the affidavit, the accuser messaging back to Christian, "I'm not okay with what happened the other day between us." Christian responding, "Oh, that's not good." The victim said, "That was not cool, and you didn't bring her, and then did that to me." The sex scandal causing an uproar for Bridget, who'd built a nationwide movement by claiming the moral high ground with traditional family values.
They were promoting a political philosophy that was based on the idea that the people who know best are the parents in a traditional 2-parent heterosexual household. And here they were living in their private lives, acting in a way that didn't conform to that idea.
She's welcome to have threesomes. The real problem here is that we have a politician who has successfully spent years lying and changing political discourse, but what she knew the whole time was a lie.
Bridget helped push Florida's parental rights and education law. That's her, cheering on the so-called Don't Say Gay bill, the controversial ban on any LGBTQ
You live in sexual anarchy
in K through 3rd grade.
Well, anarchy is an inherently left-wing idea.
Legislation now making its way through 30 other states. And revving up school board politics at this DeSantis campaign rally.
Who's ready to take back their school boards so that we get rid of the woke and start serving our families?
And Bridget is one of the co-founders of Moms for Liberty, with funding from right-wing groups like the Heritage Foundation and the Leadership Institute, creating a flashpoint in political clashes, from book banning to anti-trans bills playing out in school boards across the country.
Bridget Ziegler was one of the most vocal voices in spreading these ideas of book bans and the Don't Say Gay bill. One of the things that she was particularly good at was popularizing and making these kind of viral moments around these different policies.
I know the women who run Moms for Liberty fighting very hard to make sure that they're in charge of the direction and upbringing of their children.
But everything changed when Bridget's husband was accused of sexual assault last October. Bridget admitted to police that she had a threesome with the alleged victim, only once. But her husband told investigators they'd had a threesome twice at the couple's home, and that he'd had consensual sex with the other woman approximately a dozen times. It wasn't long before Bridget was facing calls to step down.
This evening's Arts Highlights.
Fellow school board member Tom Edwards says he's watched Bridget Ziegler turn Moms for Liberty into a political juggernaut.
You've had an adjacency to the creation of Moms for Liberty.
I watched
sounds rapey to me.
Activists coming into the school board room, and I saw a coordination between Mrs. Ziegler and what she was saying and what these political activists were saying. And then I watched the explosion of Moms for Liberty across the country. And I said, this is a political movement. We're in trouble. And no one listened until it was too late.
National political skirmishes are increasingly going local. Governor DeSantis recently targeting 14 school board members across Florida for defeat, including Tom, whom he called the most woke school board member in America.
I honestly didn't think there was anything wrong with being woke. To me, that was being aware.
How's it affected how divisive your community has become?
I don't think our community is divided. Often, people stop me on the street and say, thank God you're there. By the way, I'm Republican and I'm voting for you. And that the bulk of us have shared common values, and public education and a high-achieving, academic, safe environment for all students is something that we all share.
The new Florida GOP chair says school board politics are part of the Republican Party playbook.
Moms for Liberty is an important group that's moved our agenda forward and helped Republicans and conservatives get elected to school boards. And so any kind of investigation that Bridget and Christian are involved in, I hope does not distract from their goal, which is moving parental rights forward and helping conservatives win school board races.
But when the Ziegler sex scandal hit, the state's Republican Party officially ousted Christian. Evan Power is his replacement.
I think anytime you're in one of these positions of leadership,
has he officially left?
Or something that can impede.
They just said they ousted him, but as far as I know, unless something's happened in the last week, he's still clinging to power. Title only, really. He has no power in the Republican Party, but he's like refusing to step down. But they stripped him of his duties.
Your reputation, it ends up hurting the causes that you're fighting for. So in this case, it ended up hurting Moms for Liberty and for the Republican Party for a time being. So we're going to try to turn the page on that.
The alleged sexual assault investigation discovered a video recording of the sexual encounter on Christian's cell phone. Police say they believe the encounter was likely consensual. But Christian may still be charged by the state attorney's office with video voyeurism for allegedly filming without the woman's consent. During a search of Ziegler's phone, police say other women's names popped up, along with the accusers, titled The List on his phone, under a subheading with a vulgar expletive.
The List!
They also found messages from 3 years ago, Christian texting his wife that the accuser was an alcoholic, nice person with some issues. I just don't want to feel like we ever take advantage of anyone. His wife texting back, she seems broken, or like she's going through some expletive. And he replies that they needed to hunt for someone new. While Bridget fights to keep her police declined to press sexual battery charges against her husband. In a statement to ABC News, Christian Ziegler's lawyer says, while we are disappointed that the Sarasota Police Department punted the decision on the remaining portion of the case to the state attorney's office, we strongly believe that they will not prosecute Mr. Ziegler for any crime. Adding, police closed the rape investigation. As a video definitively proved his innocence, I do not believe he will ever be arrested or charged with any crime.
Madam Chair.
At the latest school board meeting last night, Bridget still defiant, refusing to step down.
Much of the conversations that's come up at public comment, I will never address in these chambers because it has absolutely nothing to do with my role as a board member.
For the first time, addressing her critics.
I have taken a lot of arrows. I know my colleagues up here have as well. It is not comfortable.
Xander Moritz.
But those who want Bridget gone say the tide is turning and she should go.
Because of what's been happening during these meetings,
she should get the fuck out.
Moms for Liberty chapters are changing their names and erasing any association they had to your hate group. I genuinely mean it when I say it is not too late, and it is literally never too late to do the right thing, Bridget. Please.
And hate group is exactly what it is.
Hi, everyone.
Oh my God.
You're checking out the ABC News YouTube channel.
Shut up, George.
Now we begin with that sex scandal rocking Missouri.
I'm not high enough for this shit. Those donuts were good. Let's go to... I don't actually know where we're going to. Also happened in Florida. Ah, what a wild state. Florida never change. A mom has been banned from dropping her kids off at school.
This is what I am looking at when I pull up behind one of these vehicles.
Facebook messages, complaints, and TikToks.
You ban a vehicle.
Taking the front pew at a private Christian school in Tavares
is not just a tiny little emblem on the back of a car. It is taking up the entire windshield, back windshield of two vehicles.
Lexi Thomas is a parent at Liberty Christian who wants this ad on another parent's car to stay off campus. That other parent is Michelle Klein, and what she has is an OnlyFans.
Well, it's definitely linked to, explicit content, adult content for sure.
Klein, who goes by
I'm sure,
says OnlyFans is her business and way of life.
My husband and I have this, little wild, behind closed doors lifestyle that we've now decided to share.
But not all parents want what Klein is shared at school. With some moms complaining to Klein and the school telling her not to use the main entrance and instead drop her kids off across the street.
I was forced to have to, take it off or not come on campus.
But parents at this private school say
she was forced to take it off.
All parents want what Klein is shared at school. With some moms complaining to Klein and the school telling her not to use the main entrance and instead drop her kids off across the street.
I was forced to have to take it off or not come on campus.
But parents at this private school say there's a simple solution if Klein wants to use the main drop-off.
Mm-hmm.
Why not take the decal off?
And that would seem like an easy thing to say, for sure. But for me, it supports my family. This provides a very comfortable way of life for us. And it's legal. I pay taxes just like everyone else. I'm not breaking the law. I just offended people.
That's a distraction to my children. And no matter how poorly or how good I parent, porn is there. And if that's kind of the first thing they're seeing when they're going into a place that should be educating them.
This is something we're going to have to deal with. Like, as a society, they're going to have to get over their prudishness because
now
we're at a point where, like, all women have...
This is what...
Not just women. Everyone has videos of themselves. I'm sure every guy has dick pics. She's cornering the market on 12-year-olds going to her URL with mom's credit. I assume that she's thinking like, fucking pervs are going to see her at Walmart and see her get in her car and fucking go to her website because she's so damn hot. I can't blame her. I mean, free advertisement. Why not fucking do it? It's like, at this point, who gives a shit? Sell out. Do whatever you gotta do to make money. I don't give a shit. Sex work is real work. And we need to normalize it. We need to get real cool with things real fast. Because, I mean, it's like it came up in that election with the lady in Virginia. I believe she lost the seat. But she had done, she had an OnlyFans with her husband. We saw the guy get booted. He was the dean of the college. He had a sex educational channel on OnlyFans, and they booted him. And, like, you're just going to have to get over this shit. Because, like, we need to normalize it. Fucking prudes. But in this specific case, with this woman in this school, unfortunately for her, it's a private Christian school. So, I mean, they can tell you to do whatever the fuck they want. You know, legally, they can tell you not to be on their fucking campus. And I understand that.
What I am looking at when I pull up behind one of these vehicles.
Facebook messages, complaints, and TikToks.
You ban a vehicle.
Taking the front pew at a private Christian school.
Private Christian school. And they probably have some morality clause in because you got to sign like a contract or whatever the fuck to go there, so... Yeah, well, the first season, Bart has a spy camera and takes a picture of his butt. That's the first, just as soon as photography was invented, we took pictures of ourselves naked. That's like the first thing. When the first invented movies, like what did some French dude do? He recorded a woman naked. This is just what we do as a society. Sculptures? Why do we have all these sculptures? Classical sculptures are dudes' nuts. Come the fuck on. I don't. Speaking of OnlyFans, backlash concerning schools.
Swirling on social.
Rachel Dolezal, if that name sounds familiar to you, she was once like a chapter head or co-chair of the NAACP, and they found out she ain't black. She was apparently a teacher at a school and has now been yeeted. We live in a society and has now been yeeted from her teaching position because of her OnlyFans, which I might have favorited.
And swirling on social.
I've never subscribed to it. However, I mean, if I catch it on, there are some accounts that I favorite, and if I ever catch them on sale, you know, they throw me a bone. There's a $3 Rachel Dolezal. I'll look at you naked. So yeah, I think I've still got her favorited.
Social media tonight, a Catalina Foothills Unified School District after-school instructor with a controversial past.
You might recognize her name. Rachel Dolezal was under fire in 2014, accused of misidentifying herself as black while serving as the head of the NAACP in Spokane before resigning amid the backlash.
News 4 Tucson's Eric Fink joins us live from the Foothills with more on why Arizona parents might be concerned about her new job. Eric.
Monica Sean, Rachel Dolezal now goes by the name Nkeki Diallo. She was a prominent civil rights leader and African studies professor in Washington State, accused of pretending to be black for personal gain. Now, I confirmed today that she is now an employee with the Catalina Foothills School District, and apparently now has a public social media page where she has linked an OnlyFans page that appears to be operated by her. Now, some explicit photos are being shared on other public websites, including the website Reddit. It is unclear tonight if the photos were shared by her. Now, we want to warn you, we have blurred these images you're about to see because they could be considered explicit.
I was wondering if she was passing herself off as native. I thought that sounded like a native kind of name.
By the name Nkeki Diallo. She was a...
I don't know.
Now goes by the name Nkeki Diallo. She was a prominent civil rights leader and African studies professor in Washington State, accused of pretending to be black for personal gain. Now, I confirmed today that she is now an employee with the Catalina Foothills School District, and apparently now has a public social media page where she has linked an OnlyFans page that appears to be operated by her. Now, some explicit photos are being shared on other public websites, including the website Reddit. It is unclear tonight if the photos were shared by her. Now, we want to warn you, we have blurred these images you're about to see because they could be considered explicit.
They could be considered explicit. Content warning, fuckers.
You live in sexual
Tell me this
anarchy.
is not a fantastic Valentine's show.
Explicit and inappropriate for children. Again, we do not know if Diallo posted these photos or if they were placed there by someone else. I sent a text message this evening to a school official regarding the district's...
Whoa! Whoa! That is like spread butthole. Am I wrong on this one? Border control. You got here just in time for a spread butthole. The brown eye salute.
The unexplicit photos being shared by employees, and I am still waiting to hear back. And earlier tonight, I was at the regularly scheduled district board meeting where I asked parents about this recent hire. No one feeling comfortable talking about this on camera. We're live tonight in the foothills. I'm Eric Fink, News 4 Tucson. Be black for personal gain. Now, I confirmed today that she is now an employee with the Catalina Foothills School District and apparently now has a public social media page where she has linked an OnlyFans page that appears to be operated by her. Now, some explicit photos are being shared on other public websites, including the website Reddit. It is unclear tonight if the photos were shared by her. Now, we want to warn you, we have blurred these images you're about to see because they could be considered explicit and inappropriate for...
She does not list spread butthole on her OnlyFans. There is no girl content. There's no boy-girl content. But there is spread butthole content. I'm very pro spread butthole content. And she is currently $9.99 a month. She is not running a special despite the publicity that she is seeing right now. Past content not available on demand. Oh, that is Rachel Dolezal's OnlyFans page, where you can see
children. Again, we do not know if Diallo posted these photos or if they were
spread
placed there
butthole
by someone else. I sent a text message this evening to a school of...
Now, I would hope he washed it beforehand.
Life is too short to walk this earth for a crusty asshole. Wash your ass.
Apparently the butthole content ran people off. I thought this was the banger stuff. I thought this was what was really going to get the views.
The policy on explicit photos being shared by employees, and I am still waiting to hear back. And earlier tonight, I was at the regularly scheduled district board meeting where I asked parents about this recent hire. No one feeling comfortable talking about this on camera. We're live tonight in the foothills. I'm Eric Fink, News 4 Tucson.
I've seen some of her pictures. I had not seen that one. I don't think I had seen anything that was like Bush or anything. Like I think I'd only seen her titties before now. Kind of a horrible person.
You live in sexual anarchy.
think I have illustrated through the last few stories that sexual boredom is not exactly something that Americans are suffering from at this moment in time. Charlie Kirk seems to think Americans are living in sexual anarchy.
You live in sexual anarchy?
He's upset about twerking at the Super Bowl and all that jazz. Ben Shapiro and our good friend Jordy Pete.
Up yours, woke moralists. We'll see who cancels who.
They apparently think that sexual boredom is running rampant. Sexual boredom. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I've never experienced this sexual boredom. If I had a face like this, I could understand being bored sexually, because who's really playing with it?
The amount of sexual boredom in the society is extraordinary. So you have more sexual choice and variety available than literally any time in human history, given free license by the state, because there are no intermediate social institutions in which sort of informal mechanisms of disapproval could make themselves felt.
He says that like it's a bad thing.
It turns out psychologically that human beings are turned on by is taboo. And so when you get rid of literally every taboo, then people tend to get bored. And then the question is...
Yeah, well, there's no novelty.
Right, exactly. Novelty goes away. And particularly men are driven by sexual novelty. It's something that is very deeply ingrained. And the power of what marriage was supposed to be is it takes this short-term hedonic desire. And it's said, because female virtue still existed, that in order for you to obtain this, you're going to have to sublimate that desire for the building of something greater. I mean, the part of Freud that everybody ignores is the part where Freud actually is in favor of sublimation.
Yeah,
right?
right.
It's only later psychologists.
Yes. I kind of feel like we just heard a Freudian slip there. That Ben Shapiro likes to do things that are taboo.
And philosophers who suggest that sublimation needs to be destroyed and done away with in order to free all forms of human artistic and material expression. But Freud never says that. Freud says you actually have to sublimate a lot of those short-term hedonic desires to something higher. But again, that gets back to kind of the fundamental premise that you were speaking to, which is there is this narrative of accepted values that we all used to live inside of. And when you destroy that narrative by saying for some reason that it's not true because it's not coming out of your own head, well, once that happens, we don't hold the common narrative. There are no common narratives. And if there are no common narratives and everything is then acceptable, then what exactly is the taboo? Where does the sublimation?
That might be it. He keeps asking for his wife to peg him, and she says no, and he finds that taboo. Maybe he gets off at just the thought about it.
Place. There is no sublimation, and there is no...
Like the fact that he is denied that pleasure gets him off. But he's got to ask mommy if she'll peg him.
Future orientation. Because what sublimation really is orientation of short-term in favor of long-term.
Well, and in favor of other people. Right. So it's long-term plus the social. Yeah, well, so you can do that. You can think about this technically as well. If there's no uniting narrative, here's the necessary consequences. First of all, there's no higher order superordinate aim. And that means motivation itself on the positive side takes a hit, because we experience positive motivation and the impetus to move forward. So that would be curiosity, hope, inspiration, enthusiasm, even aesthetic interest. We experience that only in relationship to an aim. And so if you destroy the ultimate aim, you destroy the structure upon which reward itself is dependent, apart from satiation-induced rewards, right? And they produce quiescence, not movement forward.
I knew most of the words that he just said. Quiescence, like right there at the end, he got me. Well, I don't know what the fuck quiescence is, but everything else, I knew the words that he was saying. The fuck did he just say? I don't think he talked over my head. I think he was just speaking gibberish. Am I wrong about this? And correct me if I'm wrong.
And that means motivation itself on the positive side takes a hit because we experience positive motivation and the impetus to move forward. So that would be curiosity, hope, inspiration, enthusiasm, even aesthetic interest. We experience that only in relationship to an aim. And so if you destroy the ultimate aim, you destroy the structure upon which reward itself is dependent, apart from satiation-induced rewards.
He's just saying we all have an aim, and if you take motivation away from that aim, like, I think...
Well, there's no higher order superordinate aim. And that means motivation itself on the positive side takes a hit because we experience positive motivation and the impetus to move forward. So that would be curiosity, hope, inspiration, enthusiasm, even aesthetic interest. We experience that only in relationship to an aim. And so if you destroy the ultimate aim, you destroy the structure upon which reward itself is dependent, apart from satiation-induced rewards, right? And they produce quiescence, not movement forward. Okay, so
one time I got curious her right in the eye. She had a red eye for a couple of days.
So you lose positive emotion, then you multiply negative emotion. And the reason you do that is because one of the things that constrains your anxiety response, which is actually a calculation of the entropic distance to a given destination, technically, is if you produce a multiplicity of aims, then you increase anxiety proportionately. Now, you know, there's probably some optimization function so that, like, a choice between 3 aims is great and a choice between 100 is devastating. Okay, so that's 2 things that happens when the unifying overarching theme disappears. But there's a third thing too, which is something you pointed to. So there's a relationship between scarcity and deprivation and value.
Well, given where it was my first time with her. Curiouser is my ex-girlfriend a long, long time ago. It feels like a whole nother lifetime ago. We have been friends far, far, far longer than we were boyfriend and girlfriend. The very, very first time I was with her, it was very exciting to me. I had to chase her for a while. And I was very turned on by it. And given her eye's proximity to where my dick was, you wouldn't think I would have shot it in her eye. Quiescence. It's a fancy word for calm. That didn't even make sense then. That didn't even work. It's breaking my brain. Like, I'm trying to understand what this motherfucker is saying. No. I would think that you're more likely to be right and that he's speaking gibberish. But I don't know that. I am not versed in... I know he's full of shit when he talks about philosophy because I know philosophy. I've got no earthly idea what the fuck he's jacking on about right now. He may know what he's talking about. I don't know enough to... Okay, then that might work. Okay, I see where calm comes from then. Then that might work in the way he was using it. I don't know jack shit about what he's talking about, so I can't, like, just call him out on his bullshit. He may know what he's talking about. He does apparently know what he's talking about when it comes to clinical psychology, in a way. So, trying to figure out if he's, full of shit or not right now is hard for me, and I'm going to lean on the side of he's full of shit. But I also don't know, so...
Right, and so if you are surfeited by a stimulus, let's say, or a resource, so you're overfed, as soon as you're not hungry, food is of no interest. If you're stuffed, food is nauseating. Now, you remember in the Exodus seminar we covered, I don't remember if you were there for this, but I think you might have been.
Motherfucker, you've never met Sparkles before. She eat. One time she got a goddamn burger to go at a restaurant we were at. She wanted a burger for later, just in case her date didn't come through. After we went to dinner. She had an after while burger. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
There's a situation when the Israelites are out in the desert wandering around like demented slaves and bitching about the fact that they have no tyrant. They start complaining about the fact that they don't have enough to eat. And God sends them like quails until they're literally coming out of their nostrils.
Right, yeah. First they complain about the manna, and then, they complain they're hungry, and God sends the manna, and then they say, we're tired of the manna, we want meat. And God says, you're going to have as much meat as you could possibly imagine.
Right,
and here come the
right.
quails. God actually gets angry, and actually Moses, for the first time, gets angry at the people over their requests at this point.
Right, well, and what happens is, because they have an absolute surplus of what they hypothetically find desirable, it becomes disgusting. And this is certainly the danger on the sexual front.
We're experiencing a lot of global instability as we plunge into primary season.
Oh my God.
No shipping in the Red Sea. Like continuing inflation that's setting in on your...
Wow, what a long ad.
We don't know, we actually don't know how much deprivation is necessary for proper sexual function to make itself manifest, right? Is that you have to... And it doesn't take much...
I will say, I can confirm, if you watch a lot of porn, you'll get the limp dick. That's a thing that happens. But you can stop watching porn and you can turn it around, I think. I haven't got that far yet. I'll let you know that.
Much thought to figure this out. It's a rare person who hasn't primed their appetite with hunger before a Thanksgiving feast. Right? You don't want to have a plate of pancakes at 5 o'clock if you're going to have a Thanksgiving feast at 6. And you might say, well, why not? Because more is...
Well, here's the thing is you might want to pace yourself. You should probably have a nice breakfast, because if you go into Thanksgiving starving, absolutely starving, you're going to eat too fast at the beginning and fill yourself up and not properly pace yourself. And that's how you're going to have like a food coma later. But if you have a modest breakfast or a brunch or something, 5 hours, 6 hours before you go to Thanksgiving, and then you smoke you a fat doobie before you go to dinner, you'll be just fine.
It's better. And the answer is no. The right amount is better. And the right amount involves a certain amount of deprivation. And I think that's... I read this interesting...
I think I probably got like the low T or something going on. Like, you know how I've been talking about, like I'm in a little bit of a rut and a midlife crisis and shit. That's probably it. I don't have access to a doctor to go like just get a little testosterone, and then my dick will be back in its working form. I mean, not that I can't fuck. I can fuck, but it ain't what it was 10 years ago. Holy shit. And I can't, DJ Dub, good night. Go ahead, light one up, tip one back. We're not far from the end, but I do have a couple other really good stories. But also, like, I've been a kinky little bastard. I've fucked a lot of people. And been fucked a few times. So, it's... Once you've been out here and you've had weird orgies and combinations of people and done all kinds of kinky things, you do get desensitized. There's a kernel of truth to what they're talking about, but like They think it's some kind of moral failing or some shit. But it's just like too much of anything is, always a bad thing.
Article yesterday showing that women
moderation is key.
Romantic interest as a relationship progresses than men. I don't think that's surprising. They're higher in trait neuroticism, so they're more likely to experience negative emotion. And then women have more, their response to sexuality is more multidimensional than men because the risks are higher. In any case, one of the ways around that is for men and women in a marriage to stay apart from each other for periods of, these researchers looked at 8 hours. If you get some distance, the desire reemerges. And then you were talking about novelty. And so this is pretty interesting too.
Well, he's speaking in a very generalized term because one size doesn't fit everybody. There are couples that are together 24/7 and they love each other, and I'm sure they have their problems and everything, but they're fucking on point. I talked about how much work relationships were like with a coworker one time, and he's like, "Nah, dude, it just comes to us. We're a great couple. We work together." And I'll be goddamned, like, I've met his wife, and then like I've been their friends on Facebook for years and years, and sure enough, it does seem like it comes super fucking easy for the two of them. They seem like amazingly in love, and they're around each other all the time. So like it's not a one size fits all for everybody. Some people have abrasive personalities. If I'm in a relationship with somebody, it's probably best that I spend some time away from them because I am very grating. It's best that I have a job that I go to and I'm away from this significant other. We don't live in the same place and we only see each other a couple of times a week. It probably works better for me. It's not a, and he's a psychologist. He should know that shit. I think he's doing fucking media malpractice right now.
So you said men will chase novelty in a sexual relationship. Well, I think part of what is incumbent on married individuals is to figure out how to keep that novelty alive, right? So that means that each of them have to be transforming. And I think the best way to do that is in relationship to a spiritual pursuit. And then I think women also want novelty, but the novelty they're looking for in men is probably more multidimensional and performative.
Toys.
Right, because
they want to use dildos and vibrators.
And they like men who are above them in the hierarchy of status, let's say, or ability, likely ability. And I think what women want are novel display.
This is pure projection on his part. That's the way he perceives a relationship. Once again, it's different strokes for different folks.
Plays of hypergamous capacity, and that is the novelty orientation for women in relationship to sexuality.
Well, one of the
because I'm a strong personality. Fuck, I'm done with this. But like, I want a woman that matches me or far exceeds me, that'll put me in my place. Give me somebody that's smarter than me, will tell me when I'm being a dumb fuck. Tell me to shut the fuck up. We want like women to be subservient to us. It's bullshit. And I think that might be like a notion that has been ingrained in some men. These trad wive Western culture fucking chauvinist assholes. I'm sure this motherfucker has no idea about any kind of sexual intimacy whatsoever. Apparently, though, this stingray does, despite the fact that there are no males in its tank. This stingray is pregnant.
1 in a million.
Charlotte, the 12 to 14-year-old stingray, is pregnant in a tank with no male stingrays. At first, Brenda Raymer, the founder of Team Echo, didn't believe it.
People have written and said, well, they can hold male sperm, you know, for years. And I'm like, she's never been around a male until we put those two little boys in here.
That's when she noticed the bite marks on Charlotte's body, a habit of mating sharks. Meet Mo and Larry, one of whom could be the...
Wait a minute. There's no male stingrays, but we got a twist in the story. She got fucked by a shark. Freedom, good evening. You got here just in time to see a stingray get fucked by a shark.
1 in a million.
Charlotte, the 12 to 14-year-old stingray, is pregnant in a tank with no male stingrays. At first, Brenda Raymer, the founder of Team Echo, didn't believe it.
People have written and said, well, they can hold male sperm, you know, for years. And I'm like, she's never been around a male until we put those two little boys in here.
That's when she noticed the bite marks on Charlotte's body, a habit of mating sharks. Meet Mo and Larry, one of whom could be the father of Charlotte's pups.
You want the net, or you just want to?
I can just
bring them up.
Bring them up.
Okay.
Mo and Larry were thought to be too young to be able to reproduce. We'll soon find out if that's true.
She's the girl you want. She's the girl you want.
The other explanation, and the more likely scenario, Charlotte is going through a very rare process called parthenogenesis, in which the eggs develop on their own without fertilization and create a clone of their mother.
And with our bamboo shark up in the other corner, we've had experience with parthenogenesis with her, 14 different times. We had one baby that lived 30 days outside of the egg.
Raymer says they've studied that process in sharks, but says it doesn't happen much in rays in captivity. The last full study, she says, took place a quarter of a century ago.
Kinsley's the best. She has come a long, long way. She has found her rhythm.
Oh, that's sweet.
The aquarium has been closed for renovations, but reopens its doors Thursday.
We're kind of expecting a deluge, which is great, and that's fine. We want people to come and see her and talk to us about her.
Raymer says she is working to set up a live stream of the tank so as many people as possible can see the pups, as many as 4 when they are born.
There's our girl. She says, hello, Mom.
Well, okay. So the news kind of, they highlighted the shark fucking and made you think that the sharks fucked the stingray. But the more likely scenario is the promethegenesis. But they were kind of being sensational with it and led you to believe they got catfished with the shark fucking.
Raymer says if they are born alive, she hopes to keep the family together, but will have to get a tank almost double the size of Charlotte's current home.
You just underestimate these poor little fish. It's a once in a bluest of blue moons experience, and it's like, wow.
In Hendersonville, Justin Berger, News 13.
Justin Berger.
Come on, party time.
How does this Canadian racehorse named...
Wait, hold on, it's party time.
Party time.
How does this Canadian racehorse named Pretty party? She's a headbanger, but only to certain songs.
Metal was her go-to headbanging music, and she loves it.
Groom Autumn Purdy noticed the heavier the metal music, the more the horse would headbang.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, did they say the heavier the metal music and then play Shine Down? What? I think there's some metalheads out there that are going to get pissed off about that.
I looked to my barn manager, I said, do you see what she's doing? We turned the music off, she stopped.
At Boger Farms in Ontario,
Boger Farms.
She turned her butt to it, but her appetite for metal was obvious. She feels like she's sort of on beat.
She always is. It's incredible. No matter what song we play, slow jams, she's slow, heavy songs, she's going with the beat.
Sometimes she gets overexcited. Her online fans...
Little Rammstein.
Horse Her favorite band so far seems to be
Slipknot.
We had to cut the dirty lyrics, but 7-year-old Pretty isn't offended. Her groom plans to post weekly music reviews with ratings based
There's the Rage Against the Machine.
intensity or lack thereof. She feels like a cross between Bojack of cartoon fame and Mr. Ed,
Hello.
the talking horse.
A horse is a horse, of course, of course.
If this horse could sing, she'd probably sing herself. Horse. Ginny Mo,
Oh, that was corny.
New York.
I'm glad we watched that though. That was excellent. We're not exactly on to the animal section yet. I should probably just leave it there though. None of these are going to be good enough. You did get back at just at the right time because like none of these two stories I have left are good enough. The top horse rocking out the metal. So I think I'm gonna leave on a high note. We're gonna do the horse again.
Canadian racehorse named.
I'm not opposed to seeing Rachel Dolezal's asshole. We can totally pull that back up if you want to. If anybody requests that.
Pretty party. She's a headbanger, but only to certain songs.
Metal was her like go-to headbanging music, and she loves it.
Her groom, Autumn Purdy, noticed the heavier the metal music, the more the horse would headbang.
Yeah, I looked to my barn manager. I said, "Do you see what she's doing?" We turn the music off. She stops.
At Boger Farms in Ontario, they tested country music. She turned her butt to it, but her appetite for metal was obvious. She feels like she's sort of on beat.
She always is. It's incredible. No matter what song we play, slow jams, she's slow. Heavy songs, she's going with the beat.
Sometimes she gets overexcited. Her online fans call her a rocking horse. Her favorite band so far seems to be Slipknot.
Are they in Iowa?
We had to cut the dirty lyrics, but 7-year-old Pretty isn't offended. Her groom plans to post weekly music reviews with ratings based on headbanging intensity or lack thereof. She feels like a cross between Bojack of cartoon fame.
No, back to the horse.
And Mr. Ed.
Hello.
John, good evening.
A horse is a horse.
Oh, I am not touching that Voss shit.
Probably sing herself. Horse. Ginny Mo, CNN.
I know that there is a drama centered around Voosh and Ethan Klein and some kind of shit's going on. I don't want to know. I have no idea what's going on. La 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 la. But good evening. Good evening. You've missed a hell of a show with the Catfished on the shark fucking and Rachel Dolezal with her asshole spread right wide open. It's been a wild one. This horse rocking out the metal music's awful cool.
How does this Canadian racehorse named Pretty party? She's a headbanger, but only to certain songs.
Metal was her like go-to head.
She does look very Canadian.
Her groom, Autumn Purdy, noticed the heavier the metal music.
Now that you mention it,
She's a heavily to
go-to.
Look at her like if her head came apart at her mouth, she'd be so Canadian. I love Enya.
Do headbanging music, and she loves it.
Her groom, Autumn Purdy, noticed the heavier the metal music.
It's been a wild ride.
The more the horse would headbang.
Yeah, I looked to my barn manager. I said, "Do you see what she's doing?" We turn the music off. She stops.
At Boger Farms,
You got pretty eyes.
they tested country music. She turned her butt to it, but her appetite for metal was obvious. She feels like she's sort of on beat.
She always is. It's incredible, no matter what song.
I got very horny for a woman that was talking about a mass shooting.
She gets overexcited. Her online...
But it's a Valentine's episode, so you know.
Her favorite band so far seems to be Slipknot. We had to cut the dirty lyrics, but 7-year-old Pretty isn't offended.
Too many boomers need to retire.
Music reviews with ratings based on head-banging intensity or lack thereof. She feels like a cross between BoJack of cartoon.
I don't know, they were kind of back and forth between the different... Like, there was some good music in there, and then there was, like, some, you know, like, shitty new metal.
Horse named Pretty Party. She's a headbanger, but only to certain songs.
Metal was her like go-to headbanging music.
They say metal and then play Shinedown.
Groom, Autumn Purdy, noticed the heavier the metal music,
the heavier
the horse would headbang.
Yeah, I looked to my barn manager. I said, "Do you see what she's doing?" We turned the music off. She stops.
At Boger Farms in Ontario, they tested country music. She turned her butt to it, but her appetite for metal was obvious. She feels like she's sort of on beat.
She always is. It's incredible. No matter what song we play, slow jams, she's slow. Heavy songs, she's going with the beat.
Sometimes she gets overexcited.
I hope you guys didn't have a crappy Valentine's Day.
Her favorite band so far seems to be Slipknot.
I hope I can provide you with a laugh if you had a crappy Valentine's Day.
Dirty lyrics, but 7-year-old Pretty isn't offended. Her groom plans to post weekly...
It is a crappy holiday.
...based on head-banging intensity.
That's why I wanna normalize...
She feels like a cross between BoJack of cartoon...
You know, single people talking shit and having fun on Valentine's Day.
The talking horse.
A horse is a horse, of course, of course.
If this horse could sing, she'd probably sing herself. Horse.
That's not funny. Go ahead, light one up, tip one back. It's all right to have a little fun before you hit the sack.